This Muhammad belonged to the Quraysh tribes, and the Quraysh tribes were pagan. Hold on, let me finish all the gifting going on. Okay, so Muhammad belonged to the Quraysh tribe, and then you said yes, you knew that, and then you also said yes, I know the Quraysh tribe used to be pagans before Islam, right? So now Muhammad is coming out to the same tribe and talking about Islam and say, hey, stop being pagans. You got to be a monotheist. There's only one God. Allah is the only God, right? And so he comes out and he starts saying all this stuff to them. And they are not really reacting well to it. Naturally, if you've been pagan for the longest time, they're going like, who is he? What is he saying? Blah, 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 all that stuff, right? Now, Muhammad, to accommodate them, there's an explanation on one side, to accommodate them, suddenly sits down and said, well, you can continue praying to your pagan gods. And that's where these verses come in, the satanic verses. Now, when he says that, he gets into trouble because if you're truly a prophet of Allah, you can never tell somebody that you can continue praying to pagan gods. And so the whole episode starts like, oh, maybe he said that because Satan came into him and forced him to say that. Vis-a-vis satanic verses. That's why we call it the satanic verses. Satan came into him and told him to recite these verses, where he was sitting down and telling the same followers, well, you could follow Islam, but you could also follow your pagan gods. Right? You follow me so far?
Yes, how much so far?
Right? It's pretty simple, right? Straightforward. The man is trying to get people to convert into Islam. He's coming up with this wall with people from his own tribe who are pagans, always have been pagans. And so to accommodate them, he sits down and says, well, maybe you can also pray to them. And that's what it's called, satanic verses. And then when he says that, rather, that maybe you can accommodate them, it's like, uh-oh, you can't say that because there's only one true God. Allah is that God. You can't tell people like, hey, you can pray to Allah and you can also pray to your pagan gods. That's not possible. How do you kind of accommodate his position in saying those two things which don't match, that can carry? So they accommodate by saying, oh, it must have been Muhammad who had Satan who came into him and said those words, because that's not something like a true prophet would say. Therefore, satanic verses. Muhammad uttered satanic verses. That's where the backdrop and the background is. You follow me?
I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Now, in your Surah 22, chapter 22, 52, by the way, in your Quran, there's something called Alat, Al-Uzza, and Al-Manat. Those were the three.
Well, excuse me. Wait, one moment, if I may. When you say my Quran, I must make a clear distinction of the Quran that I follow. So the Quran that I follow. Yep. You ready? We all ready?
Yeah, good.
All right.
I'm listening.
So, according to my prophet, he instructed that we are to, well, for one, he instructed that the Quran of Muhammad is the revealed word of God, and that we are to study the lofty teachings of the Quran. Now, from my understanding, some teachings in the Quran are not lofty, but when it comes to the Quran that was presented to me, that was divinely prepared and given to me, the Quran is called the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and it was divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali.
Oh, you belong to a completely different sect.
Just like Prophet Muhammad, I am not a part of any sectors.
No, in the sense like you don't believe in. Do you have a Hafs Quran?
So I'm an American. I was born in America. My native language is English. So the Quran was divinely prepared and given to me in English.
Okay, great. I didn't say it wasn't prepared and given to you in a translation in English. I asked you, is your rendition of the Quran, the edition of your Quran, is that a Hafs Quran? And it sounds like you have, what was that Quran you said? What was that
It's called the, and it's the only Quran that's ever been called that in the flesh, by a prophet. It's called the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
So the Holy
Quran,
Moorish Science Temple.
Oh, too many voices, one at a time, please.
What is the Moorish Science, by the way? What is the Moorish Science Temple? When was the Moorish Science Temple established? What century was it established?
Good question. You sound just like my prophet when you ask that. When was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
Is the book hole punched with staples in it and a cartoon drawing on the front?
Yes.
The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Moorish Science Temple of America was founded in 1913 AD.
Okay, so when was Muhammad, that's okay, 1913, okay. When was Muhammad, what year did Muhammad start getting the revelation?
That I'm not sure. I think it was something like, the 6th century or something like that?
7th century. So your Quran comes how many thousands plus year after Muhammad's revelation?
That's correct. Yes. The Quran, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America is not something that's supposed to supersede or supposed to be inferior to any other books. According to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he says that the Holy Quran is the uniting to the Quran of Mecca that you all are familiar with.
Okay, so your Quran is circa 1200, 1300 years after Muhammad's revelations, right?
Well, no. So let me get it straight. So the pamphlet was printed in 1927, but these teachings are ancient. These secrets are ancient.
Okay.
Correct.
So Muhammad had his teachings, his revelations, would you agree, about 1300 years before your Quran, right?
According to my prophet, the Quran is the revealed word of God. Yes.
I'm not asking if your Quran is the
No. I'm referring to the Quran of Muhammad. It is.
Right.
He
Was
said,
that
my prophet said,
1300 years before 1913?
I don't know the math, but yes, that was before then.
Okay. So even if you don't know the math, if you want to say 1,000 plus years, just to be like, we do it all. I understand where you're coming from. Sometimes you don't know the exact year. You say 1,000 plus or 2,000 plus. It's 1,000 plus years before your Quran was written, right?
Yes, the Quran. Now let me make another distinction. So the Quran of Muhammad is not a physical book. So the Quran of Muhammad, he did not write that down, nor did he approved the book that we're all using today.
Oh, that's interesting. So I actually like what you're saying. So you're saying Muhammad never approved, he never wrote it down. We already know this.
Right.
So yeah. Let me tell you, brother, you're already more brilliant than 99.99% of Muslims on TikTok. Okay, so we already know that Muhammad never wrote anything down. He never intended to get that Quran written down. But you're saying that the Quran, he ultimately, that the first time the Quran was compiled, according to hadiths, I don't know if you follow hadiths or not. They say it was like in the 7th century, almost 1300 years before your Quran was written.
Okay.
Was that the first Quran that was compiled 1300 years before your Quran? A corrupted Quran? What's your opinion? Is it like a fake Quran? We'd really love to learn.
Wait. Please condense your question, because you uttered some words that was kind of triggering. You said was corrupted or fake or what? Please condense your question.
The Quran prior to your Quran. So 1300 years ago, the Quran was compiled for the first time after Muhammad died, under Abu Bakr, and then later who was the first caliph and third caliph was Uthman. What's your opinion about those Qurans? I mean, 1300 years before this 1913 Quran you're talking about, there was a Quran compiled. I just would like to know, are they real Qurans? Are they not real Qurans? What's your opinion about them?
So my opinion is that there is only one Quran, right? And it was clarified according to Surah 14:4. It was clarified and sent to the Arabians, around the 6th or 7th century. And it was also clarified and sent to the Americas. And that was in around the 1900s, early 1900s.
So, if you could help us out, guys, if you don't mind, brother. I think all my brothers are probably thinking about, we don't know, can the real Quran stand up? Which is the real Quran? The one back then, 1300 years ago, or your Quran in 1900s?
So when it comes to the Surah, I believe it's Surah 14:4, when it says that it is clarifying the message, in the language that the people speak in, we also have to keep in mind in that verse, it says that Allah will guide those who he wills and leads astray who he wills. So when I'm presenting to you the Holy Quran that a prophet actually presented, it is up to you to decipher whether it is truth or falsehood. Because when it comes to accepting the prophet,
14:4 is Surah 14:4. When you say the Surah 14:4, are you getting Surah 14:4 from 1900s? Or are you getting 14:4 from the 7th century? What's the date of that surah you just said? Is that date in your 1913, or is it back then in the 7th century?
the surah that anyone and all of us can do our own research and look at is coming from the Quran.com, and that's the Surah 14:4 that I'm referring to.
Quran.com says everything in its revelation was from the 7th century.
Okay.
So we just want to learn. It's like, but so if we understood you correctly, maybe we misunderstood you, or at least I misunderstood you. You said your Quran is from 1913, correct?
Yes, the message that was revealed to the Americans. Yes, 1913.
Okay. Prior to 1913, was there a Quran?
Yes, there's also the same Quran that was delivered revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Yes.
Okay. How much prior to the 1913? Prior to 1913, was a Quran we can depend on, or you would depend on, or you would say that's the righteous Quran?
I could depend on all of them because I'm not bound by any books. So I could depend on anything, especially when you submit.
So a Quran written in the 7th century is good?
Say it again? Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is your first time hearing this, huh, Mr. J?
What's that?
This is your first time hearing him talk about this, huh?
No, I think I've heard one of these guys before, dude.
Okay, I'm sorry. Say it again.
I'm just trying to figure out what's the first time. Sorry,
Yeah,
what Quran? So what Quran would you depend on? Like, can you depend on?
So the Quran that you could hold me accountable to each and every one of the instructions without any question, doubt, or contradiction is the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America.
Okay, got it. So that was in 1913, right?
Yes, 1913.
Okay. In 1912, let's start up. If you don't mind indulging me, I know it will be a silly exercise here. I'm going to apologize ahead of time, but just indulge me on this. In 1912, if there was a Quran written, would you hold yourself accountable to that?
No, I cannot. No, I would not.
What about 1900? Would you hold yourself accountable to that?
Without the Quran that was delivered to me by my prophet, no, I would not.
So 1913 is the only Quran you would hold yourself accountable.
The one that the prophet delivered to me, yes, that was the one that I could hold myself accountable to.
Right. You said it was 1913, right?
Well, let me make sure I make a clear distinction. We're talking about, because you asked me, when was the Moorish Science Symbol of America founded? That's 1913. Now, when was the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America published? 1927. Now, when was it issued out? 1928.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, let's say we are in the 1800s, and there's a Quran out there. Would you believe that Quran?
No, because my prophet wasn't sent to me then.
Okay, great. So you would, by that extension, you wouldn't believe a Quran that was written in the 7th century, right?
No, not with the state of mind that I was in. No, I would not.
How do you know that your Muhammad in the 7th century actually said what was said in your 1913, 1927, 28 Quran?
Jay, before you answer, is he talking about the same Muhammad? Because it seems like he's talking about a prophet for himself. He has a special prophet other than the prophets the other Muslim had. Is he talking about the same Muhammad?
Really? Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
His argument sounds like
thank you for clarifying that. Are you talking about the same Muhammad?
I'm sorry, I was tending to my children. What happened?
We're asking, are you talking about the same Muhammad in the 7th century, or do you have a different Muhammad in 1913?
So the only prophet Muhammad, like there's plenty of Muhammads out there, but there's only one prophet Muhammad that I'm speaking to, and that is the conqueror, according to my prophet.
Who is the conqueror, bro?
When did the conqueror first come to be?
So Prophet Muhammad is who I'm referring to as the conqueror.
Right.
Yes.
When did that conqueror come to be? What century was he around?
If I'm understanding correctly, it was the same Prophet Muhammad that recited the Quran.
Wait, so he came around, the conqueror Muhammad is the same Muhammad from the 7th century?
He came back in the 1300, in 1930, it seems. And he recited the Quran. I don't know.
Say it again?
Was
I can't
he
hear
here in
you.
1913? Was that Muhammad around in 1913 or the 7th century?
No. Prophet Muhammad, really? Actually asking this question? So Prophet Muhammad has long been transitioned, since the 7th century. I don't know where this question came from.
Bro, what we're trying to ask you, is this Prophet Muhammad you're talking about, is that someone who existed in the 1913s, the 1800s, the 1600s, the 1400s, right back to the 7th century?
There's only one.
No. That's no. What? No.
When did your Prophet Muhammad first exist?
So I want to make a clear distinction. I give honors to Prophet Muhammad, but he is not my prophet. My prophet goes by the name of Noble Drew Ali. So the question.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Oh my God.
Whoa,
Yes.
this is crazy, man.
So he's not even a Muslim. He believes.
Yeah, he's not a Muslim.
You're absolutely not Muslim, bro.
Yeah, I think we can move on, man, because we're not talking about Muslims.
That's why I was trying to get an introduction in, but I kept on being cut off, and I had some cheerleaders in, and speaking on my behalf.
You can call me a cheerleader all you want, but
Bro,
you can speak, man, because
right, bro. I always spoke with you with respect, right? I never cut you off. I always spoke with you with respect. I gave you enough time to explain yourself, right?
when he's talking about cheerleader, he's talking about me because I was the one that gave him that harsh introduction. Because, like I was trying to tell you, Jay, in the beginning, that he's been on every single panel.
Conscious has always been somebody that is a pain in the. No, I'm just kidding. I love my brother.
I am a pain, especially
Conscious is a good brother. He is a good brother.
Conscious runs my life.
Mr. Bay, what's your religion?
Quite a bit, dude.
HBK, he said he's a Muslim.
Yeah. Conscious is a good brother.
He's a Muslim.
You're not a Muslim
about my brothers.
you're not a Muslim if you don't believe in the Prophet from the beginning of time.
Yeah. So, brother, I gotta ask you something. Why not? Why? So you were you born a Christian? Like, were your parents Christian? No,
I was born a Catholic.
No, not you. My brother who is
Mr.
has been
Bay.
talking about.
I was born a Muslim. I just wasn't aware of these teachings until.
So your parents?
I'm
your
telling you, bro,
parents
this
were
is
Muslims?
crazy.
Say it again.
Your parents were Muslims?
They weren't Muslims. They were Muslims.
Muslims, Jay, not Muslim. Muslim.
No.
He
See,
said Muslim.
so I want everybody.
Yeah.
I'm saying it clearly. Clear as
I want to
day.
hear the brother out. I want to hear it out.
Thank
So
you.
you were
Thank
born as a Muslim or as nobody's born into them, but anyways, your parents were Muslims?
So yes, with all respect to my brothers who identifies as Muslims, my parents were Muslims. That's what they were, Muslims.
So your parents identified with the 1913 Quran.
No, they did not.
Okay, help me out, brother. What the? Please, because we are struggling here. Okay,
telling you, bro.
what is a Muslim? I thought a Muslim is one who identifies with a 1930, 27, whatever Quran.
No, and I'm glad, and I hope we have patience to get the answer to this truth. So
Oh my God. I'm gonna let y'all have fun with that. I've heard this already like 10,000 times. So y'all have fun, man. God bless all of y'all.
Your prophet
peace,
is who
peace,
again?
brother.
What was his
Good
name?
seeing you, brother. Hope to see you soon.
Go ahead, bro.
You want to see me tell me again?
Were your parents Christian? Or well, let me ask you this: were your parents
Just
Christian?
want to ask him a question, please. If just because he's searching for truth, guys, he's searching for truth.
Yeah, we're asking that question.
So I would love just to ask you, brother, Mister, what would be the thing that I can bring you that can actually touch you, not convince you, rather just touch you, that it is the truth? Because
Touch
you
you
are
where?
born,
What
you are
religion?
born, you are born basically in Catholicism, and you have an idea about Jesus Christ somehow in one of another way, if I might be honest. But then you are like leaning into this name title Muslim, which is it's not a problem. But what I would love to ask you, because you said that you are searching for the truth. What would be the truth for you?
Well, before you ask him that, truth in what religion, though?
I just want to hear his opinion a little bit
No,
about that. Like
the
this,
truth
we
in
can
what?
go ahead.
He talking about being Muslim.
Muhammad, are you a Muslim?
No, he's
No.
not a Muslim, he's a Christian, man.
He's a
Um,
Christian.
yeah, he's a
Just-
Christian.
So your question is, well, it's a great question actually, by the way. And piggybacking on that question is like the everything he's telling us is not like something that has been established for a long time. It's like
a problem about that. The problem is here is that he just is searching for the. Actually, it's not a problem because he's searching for the truth.
we don't
And
know if
if
he's
he's
searching for the
searching-
truth.
and if
Does he
he's
know
searching
Christianity?
for-
Does he know how much about Christianity? Let me ask him, brother. How much do you know about Christianity?
Just allow me, dear brother, please.
You
I
go first.
just try to like the word of God is saying also as a Christians that we have to evangelize to people, and which is mean also speaking to them about the gospel if they don't understand that.
Please don't
And that's
preach,
what I
bro.
try to do. So, brother, Mister, what would be the truth for you?
Well, that is, well, thank you for asking. That is a loaded question. And I'm not sure how to go about that, besides saying, what can you bring me that is greater than Allah?
Well, I can tell you one word: spirit.
Brother, your name is Muhammad.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm a Muslim, and his name is Muhammad. He's named after the Prophet. So I don't understand him.
Don't worry about that. We can talk about that later.
Okay.
Brother Mister, what do you mean? What do you know about spirit?
I'm sorry, say it again. What do I know about what?
Spirit.
What do I know about spirit? So what I know about spirit is that it is a part of Allah that was breathed forth into man. So that same part is what I have been given by Allah.
those other parts, brother.
Well, think of it like how they did, like how Adam was created when Allah breathed into him. So when you breathe into him, imagine like taking an empty, bottle of water, and you take it to the ocean And if you dip that empty bottle into the ocean, and now you have all that ocean water in that bottle, it's kind of like that. I have a part of Allah, but I'm not the ocean, but I am a part. So
I understand,
all right, cool.
but that's not actually answering my question. What is the definition of spirit?
Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarity. So from my understanding, when I did the research on the word spirit, it translates to breath. But it's not always, or it's not, well, for me, my understanding, if I may add to it, it's not so much as the physical breath that you may be able to blow on a mirror when it's cold or something like that. And you see how your breath, it's not necessarily that. It's what's in that breath. And what's in that breath is considered truth. Okay. And man can speak truth or falsehoods.
Okay, dear brother, I just want to let you know something. You don't know the definition of spirit.
No, he makes sense, bro.
The definition of spirit is actually the source of life. Simple answer. If you have a body without the spirit, you cannot be alive. And if you have a spirit without soul, you cannot feel as a person. So, without the spirit, which is the source, you cannot be alive. Simple.
Brother, what are you trying to get with this conversation? I don't understand.
I am talking to the brother, Mr. Please.
I know, but I want to get more in depth into it.
Allow me to talk to the brother, Mr. Please. Thank you. So, brother, Mr. The simple answer to the spirit is, or the definition of it at least, is source of life. So, what do you think that Allah can give you about spirit? About your spirit?
Well, see, that's the thing. My prophet had made the bold statement by saying, I have given you everything you need to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. So I'm not sure what more you could give to me than what my prophet has already given to me. And the prophets that came before him. I don't know what more you can give me than what they already gave me.
Well, what I can give you from more than what the Islam at least have given you is at least the definition of spirit. So the definition of spirit is just source of life. And if Allah is not a spirit himself, he cannot give life. Because if you are not filled with what you are giving, you cannot give what you are not having inside of you. That's the same thing for spirit.
Yes, brother. Do you have a question that you're building up to?
No, I'm just trying to understand if you are getting what is the point here in what I'm pointing at least for this moment.
I'm still, trying to decipher what is your point.
My point is that spirit is source of life, and Islam doesn't provide for you information actually that speaks about spirit.
Well, I mean, have you ever, that's a bold statement in itself, and that just lets me know that you haven't stepped into different schools of thought within Islam. So, I mean, I can respect that, if that is the case, then to you, your religion, to me, mine's.
Well, from other side, I'm an ex-Muslim. So
You don't need the spirit of Islam.
I am
And what is the spirit of Islam? What? I never heard of that.
Don't go on that. The point is here, dear brother, is that the Islam doesn't speak about spirit, and Allah doesn't have anything that he can provide to you about spirit.
It's because we don't believe in the Trinity, brother.
In the spirit is the most important thing. So that is exactly what I try to highlight for you, my dear brother.
We don't believe in the Trinity, though. That's the whole thing. That's the problem.
Dear brother, you don't have to believe in Trinity
Trinity, brother. The Holy Spirit is part of the Trinity.
Did I say Holy Spirit?
To me, when you talk about spirit, it's Holy Spirit.
I didn't say anything about the Holy Spirit.
That's where I get where you're going with spirit. That's
I
the only
just
thing
said
I
I
think
just
about.
said spirit. I just said spirit.
Okay.
So in the Islam, you have nothing that actually speaks about spirit or help us to understand what spirit means.
Jesus never really spoke about spirit.
Well, in the Quran, there is nothing about it. But in Christianity or in the Bible, we have.
But Jesus never spoke about spirit.
Jesus spoke about spirit, actually. If
He never even mentioned the Trinity. He never said none of that.
Listen, brother. The first claim that you have brought up is Jesus never spoke about spirit. Jesus spoke about spirit because he says he is the one who gave the Holy Spirit. That was the claim of John. And later on, he is the one who even breathed the Spirit into the disciples, which is a form of a given spirit.
That's what Mr. Bay said. The breath.
And he said,
That's what
also,
Mr. Bay said.
the real worshippers worship in spirit and truth. And it says also that spirit and carnal mind are against each other. So, can you define for me carnal mind, at least?
I mean, I could define with the breath, like Mr. Bay said, you breathe into something.
No, I'm asking about carnal mind, not about spirit.
Religion, sir. I'm a Muslim.
You don't have to know about my. You don't have to know about my spirit, dear brother, to know what carnal mind means, because I'm speaking English.
Explain to me.
Don't you know what carnal mind means or carnality means?
Explain it to me.
Well, this is something. If you know something about spirit, then you would know what carnal mind means. Because the Bible provides for us information that says that the carnal mind is an enemy against the spirit. And explain us even more at a deeper level. But in the Islam, you don't have anything that speaks to you about spirit nor carnal mind. That's why you are asking me to explain to you. I have no problem with explaining to you, but I just want to demonstrate to people who are listening with us that Islam doesn't have anything that provide us about the source of life.
Have you read the Quran?
I'm an ex-Muslim.
You said what?
I am an ex-Muslim.
You're an ex-Muslim.
Yeah.
What made you become Christian?
The unconditional love of God.
Say that again.
The unconditional love of God.
Where are you from?
That's not exactly what we are talking about.
No, I'm just asking. Where are you from?
I wouldn't love to speak about it.
Because it would make sense to me if wherever you're from. But I just want to know where you're from.
No, you don't have to know where I am from because we are talking about the Quran. We are talking about the Islam.
I understand, but you said you're ex-Muslim, so
yeah, I'm
a lot of ex-Muslim.
I'm an Arab, but it doesn't mean that I have to provide to you more information that I am not comfortable with. So
because maybe because there's certain reasons why you would switch your religion because
I said
unconditional love of God. What does that mean?
Don't you know what does that mean?
I don't know what it means to you.
What does that mean to you?
Unconditional love of God. When Muslims love God, bro. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not talking about you or Muslims loving God. I'm talking about God loving us.
So you felt like God didn't love you as a Muslim?
Do you know what the unconditional love means?
I'm asking you. You didn't feel like God loved you as a Muslim?
I'm asking you also, do you know what the unconditional love means?
I know what unconditional love means.
So what does that mean to you?
That means when that means you could do right or wrong and somebody still love you.
And conditional love?
Conditional love, that means it comes with conditions. You got to do things for the love.
If you want to worship a god, would you worship one who has unconditional love, or would you worship one who has conditional love?
I will worship the one that forgives me and the one that's most merciful.
So the one with the unconditional love.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here I will give you the perspectives. The perspective of Allah is He cannot love you without you loving Him first and accepting Him first. With Jesus Christ, the word of the grace is actually linked to Him in John. In John chapter 1, you can read about Jesus Christ, that He is actually the grace. He came with the grace. And the grace means something you cannot earn or deserve with your human power. So,
then Moses.
if you accept Jesus or not, He will still love you. But if you don't accept Allah, He wouldn't love you.
But brother, Moses came the same way.
You are asking me another question there, brother, and I am answering you about the question that you are asking.
No, I understand, but you bring up a man.
I am asking you. I am answering you. So listen to me, please. The answer is simple. Allah, if you don't accept Him, you would not be loved by Him, nor by the people who follow Him, because He will tell the people that they follow Him to unalive you, with other words, if you don't believe in Him. And I can prove that to you from the Quran. And that's the conditional love, which is you didn't choose for it. And you said it with your own words. But however,
You don't have to love Jesus though?
or God of the Bible has unconditional love. He loved you first before you becoming a good person or not a good person. He loved you first before even being formed in the womb of your mom. So this is the unconditional love. If you follow Him or not, He will still love you. But if you follow Him, in our perspective, is for your own good, but you are not obligated though. If you choose to follow whatever you want, that's your own choice. However, with Allah, if you choose for Islam, He will love you. But if you go away from the Islam, He will not love you anymore. So there is a condition, love with Allah, and there is unconditional love with Jesus or with the God of the Bible in your case, because you don't understand the definition of Jesus as Christ or as God. But I would make it simpler for you. The God of the Bible has unconditional love. Simple.
The Old Testament too?
Doesn't matter.
No, it does. It does, because people you believe Jesus is the God of the Old Testament too, right?
Yes.
So you believe he commanded his people to unalive the Amalek?
Oh, for you actually as a Muslim, you don't even have to argue this with me, because first, allow me to answer, please.
Okay.
You cannot argue this with me. Listen, guys, to what the Muslim has said. Because the Muslim right now is asking me, why did your God command the unaliving of people? But in the Islam, we have the unaliving of the people also, until now. But look at the trick here. In the Old Testament, it has a context, and we can see why God did it that way. And there are rules that speaks to us about the principles of God to understand how God actually do things. That's what the Old Testament provide for us.
Brother,
But
it's the same in the Quran. It's always preference.
However, dear brother, please allow me to speak. However, in the New Testament, nobody ever have been unalived. No one has been commanded to unalive somebody because the law was fulfilled. But 600 years later, Muhammad comes and he established back the law of hurting people. By the way, the Islam was spread by sword. More than 80 people.
Brother, Indonesia took in Islam like it was nothing, brother. Like it was not spread by sword, bro.
Brother, we are talking
And us,
about. We are
and us
talking
Americans.
We are
Us Americans was not.
It was not spread by sword.
We are not talking
People
about
loved it.
human
People
beings,
embraced
guys.
it.
Guys, we are not talking about human being. We are not talking about the war of human being. We are talking about the fact of the belief system. Because if you look at the Surah 9 and the Ayah 29, you will find that Allah is saying, fight those who doesn't believe in Allah. That's the first sentence.
What's the context of that? There's something had to do it.
Dear brother, listen to what I am saying. You are a better English speaker than me. Both of you are better speaker English than me. So listen to what I said. The first sentence is saying, unalive or fight those who doesn't believe in Allah. The sentence, how it starts, is not talking about the perspective of a timeline. It's not talking about the perspective of war. It's talking about the perspective of belief. It says, fight those who doesn't believe in Allah. It doesn't say the one who attack, the one who want to fight. Even there is another ayah where it says, fight those who spread things against Allah, who spread corruption into the land. Of course, we have that. But with Christ, we don't have those things.
Excuse me, brother, if I may ask.
In Christ, he never said, go and
Brother, let us
this
talk
person
too. Let
because
us
he
talk
doesn't
too.
believe. Listen, please. Christ, he never said, go and unalive this person because he doesn't believe in me. So that's why I said the perspective that you are talking about in the context that you are talking about is different here.
Okay, I appreciate you sharing that measure. Did you have any questions for me and the brother?
Okay, I have a question for both of you. What is the task of Allah actually as a God?
What is
To
it? What?
guide
The
or
what?
to misguide?
Say it again, please.
What is the task of Allah as God? To guide or to misguide?
What is the desk of Allah? Is that what you said?
Task. What is
Task?
actually what does Allah do? Does he misguide or does he guide people to the truth?
Or you can
Right.
be, what is Allah's will? What is His will?
You want to
guide
answer
people
that,
to
brother?
misguide
or
them.
what?
Mr. God, yes.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
So Allah guides people, right?
Yes, he guides those who he wills, and he leads astray who he wills.
Okay, but first of all, I want you actually, I didn't want you, but you agreed with me just right now that Allah misguide people, or Allah guide people. But now, dear brother, you said that Allah misguide the one who he wills.
Well, I didn't use the word misguide. We never said that.
Well, Actually, it's not only misguiding because in Arabic it's even more clear.
Okay, what's the clear word? Or I mean, I get it's in Arabic, but what was the clear, perfect translation of what it means?
The clear word is misguiding. That's why I am using it.
Okay, so then that's misguided. Okay, so
Yes.
Allah guides those who He wills, and He misguides who He wills.
That's what you said.
Well, no. I'm going off of what, because you, in this case, are the linguistic. I'm not in Arabic is not my native language. So I'm at your mercy now. So you're saying that the correct terminology is misguide. Allah misguides people.
Of course, the opposite of guiding is misguiding.
Where does it say that in the Quran?
Right now, not exactly now. When you do answer that, I would like for you to provide, like maybe, because I know in the Quran they have people who are scholars. So I would like you to provide a scholar that supports your claim.
Oh, is the Quran not enough for you that it says that he guide and misguide?
And where does he say that he misguides people?
I'm just asking a question to build on upon my argument, actually. So
Well, see,
first of all, I ask. Wait a minute,
but I'm
guys.
saying your question
Guys,
is built on the.
Wait a minute, brother, mister. Wait a minute, please. Wait a minute. When I ask you guys, and my brother host even came in between and he said, what is the will of Allah? And both of you guys said he guides people. And we agreed upon that. Fine. Then you said that he misguide or that he mislead.
No, I said it leads astray, according to what I
Lead
read from
astray.
the
So
Quran.
lead astray, as an English speaker, leading astray, somebody being led astray is not a good thing. Do you agree with that or not?
Yes, and Mohammed, leading astray and misguiding are the same thing, bro. If I lead someone astray, I misguide them. Same thing. You just use the word policy.
From my understanding, because I speak English, English is my native tongue. So
And English is also my native tongue as well, bro. Leading someone astray is the same thing as misguiding them.
There you
for
go.
me, so what I'm thinking of, because and this is where the psychology is different on how I view the great God Allah.
Brother House.
Hold on, Mr. B, before you talk about more.
Do you have the ayah of the word misguide? I mean, do you have the ayah of
let me
Allah
search.
misguided?
I will search for it.
I
But
can search for it. I can search for it.
let me search for it. Oh, go ahead, bro. Mr. B, I want to say this, that please don't, when we are talking, don't reference to Allah as yet. Just please reference to the word we are using, because you're making it seems like leading someone astray is different from misguiding them. It's the same thing, brother. I am an English speaker. I only know English. I passed my English class. So if you're gonna teach me something, tell me what's the difference between leading someone astray and misguiding them, bro. Go ahead.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, of course, but he's acting like it's something different.
Hold on. So again, what I do when I'm doing research on these words that I didn't come up with, I do my research of it. So we can do this together.
But it is really amazing that you just before my brother host even has started to speak, you said leading astray is not misguiding. And that is the problem here. And all of a sudden you are agreeing with us that's misguiding us like misleading. It's really amazing.
The way I'm taught is I am to not switch the words as much as possible. So when I'm reading from the Quran, Quran.com, and I'm seeing the translation, I like to stick to that translation as close as possible. So for you all to come to me with another word, and it is alarming to me, and I want to make sure I'm speaking and being as close to absolute truth as much as possible.
Okay,
So,
no problem. I respect that. So what is the word makir for you?
My native language is English. I don't know what you just said.
Brother, can I ask you a question?
Wait a minute.
No, you've been asking questions after questions.
Because going through everything at the same time is not really we are just human. So wait a minute, please, dear brother. Do you know that you are not speaking Arabic? Muslim for sure, or a person for sure. I get that, but the word makir actually let me first start with the ayah, showing you the ayah that shows that Allah mislead, and showing you the word that of misleading for everybody to see that. And is leading astray something positive? My question.
Is leading what?
Leading astray somebody, is that a positive thing or is that a negative thing?
If somebody wants to get led astray, that's on their own will. God, Allah doesn't misguide people; He guides people.
Yeah, and I was
I don't know his religion
I
because
mean, we don't agree.
he believes in a different religion than I believe. I'm a Muslim. He believes in something else that I don't really know about. So
But you said, okay, if you said that Allah Allah guides people and He doesn't mislead people, so you don't agree with what He said.
I don't understand what he said, to be honest. I don't understand his religion because you saying you guys said he was a Muslim.
Okay, no problem. Okay, let me then deal with you, the one who is Muslim. So you are saying that Allah doesn't mislead people.
No.
Okay, and if I show you, then what would be your reaction?
What would you show me?
If I show you that Allah misleads people, here is the ayah even in front of us. Hallelujah.
I said if Allah wants to guide the people who want, if the people who want to go astray, they go astray. They have
That's not what we are asking, dear brother. That's not what you just have said.
I did say that. Go ahead.
Let us stay with what you said. You said that, first of all, when I told you that Allah does Allah mislead people or not, you said no. You said Allah guide people. That's what you said with your own wording. So right now we are finding out that Allah mislead people or lead astray. So what is your thought right now about that, dear brother? That just all of a sudden in this ayah you can read it with us that Allah mislead people.
I would like to speak on that when you're done, brother.
Yes,
I want to hear the Muslim. I want to hear the Muslim about
reading it.
Go ahead, brother Muslim. I want to hear you what you are saying.
Okay, just quick thing. Prophet Muhammad came for everybody, so he came for all nations.
Wait a minute, dear brother. Wait a minute.
I'm reading. I'm just letting him go. I'm gonna answer.
I'm talking to you. Like, do you see the ayah in front of us?
I'm trying to read it, brother. That's what I'm saying. Hold on.
Okay, lead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just read it by God's grace. And if you can read it out loud, would be really good.
And you said this is a Sahih.
This Quran. That's not hadith.
So why does it say Sahih?
That's Sahih. That's the version of the translation, dear brother.
Brother, the person who translated is Sahih International.
Yeah.
I am not a Muslim. I can't translate the Quran. The person who translated the Quran is Sahih International. That's the person who translated the Quran.
Okay.
Do you understand now?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and read it. Thank you.
So you're saying he misguides?
Not me. Read the Quran. Not me. Read the Quran.
I read it, so I'm asking. I'm asking Muhammad. You're saying Allah misguides people. from this quote right here.
Read it. Just read it.
I read it.
Just can you read it out loud for us? Like this, we can all hear what it is said there.
Brother, everybody can read it.
Can you read it for us, please?
Brother, everybody can read it, bro.
Okay, so you don't want to read it.
Brother.
Here it says that Allah wants to guide and He expand His breast to contain Islam, and whoever He wants to misguide, He makes His breast fight and constricted as though He were climbing into the sky. This is just one ayah actually that speaks about Allah misleading. There's just one ayah actually.
Did you read the whole verse? Because
Listen, brother, listen. I'm just talking about leading and misleading. That's all I'm
all right,
talking.
but it makes sense if the verse it has to make sense. That's what I'm asking. Did you read the whole verse? Because it has to make sense. You can't just bring up one thing and then say
Go ahead
he
and read
misguides.
for us. Go ahead and read for us.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole verse. This is just a little bit of what you put. You
Go
just put
ahead,
one
go
thing.
ahead.
I don't have the Quran in my hand right now.
Will
Is he talking about the whole chapter or the whole verse? What is he talking?
Huh?
Are you talking that we should read the whole chapter of this? Or chapter
No,
6?
no. I'm talking about the context.
The whole verse is on the screen, bro. What do you mean if you read the whole verse? Are you
This
talking
is
about the whole
I'm
chapter?
talking about the context of everything of before and after.
What do you mean before and after? If you don't know about the Quran, dear brother, the Quran, no chapter in the Quran is full story. So you cannot go like before and after and go find the context in every story, because the Quran itself, there is only one chapter in the Quran that is actually fully a story, which is chapter of Lut. So there we can get a context and go before it and after it to understand. But here, dear brother, we want to understand, and we were talking about one thing: misleading and leading. You said that Allah doesn't mislead.
I would say that's a good thing. I say it's a good thing.
What happened? Did he
Yes.
run?
He's gone. Or what?
Misleading is a good thing.
I
If
mean,
it's done by Allah, it's a good thing.
But bro, if Satan, why is Allah doing the same thing as Satan? But that's the point. That's the issue.
Well, no, that's not no. So when it comes to Satan,
But
I want to
did
speak on
Satan
Satan's
mislead?
behalf. So,
Brother,
now, when you
I
speak-
want to ask you one question, Mr. B. If Allah misleading people, does Satan not get any chance to mislead anyone? If Allah
No.
is doing it,
No.
can Satan do his job?
no, Satan's not doing his job that y'all think he's doing.
Exactly, because Allah is doing his job for Satan. If Allah is
but he's
misleading
not.
everyone, Satan can't mislead anyone, bro.
Okay, so my share my understanding of speaking English, right? Let me share my
No,
best.
do you understand what I'm saying? If I am
Okay,
the
let me
person, hold on.
answer that question.
Mr.
I
B,
want you to.
Mr.
Go ahead.
B,
What's the
just
question?
hold on, let me land. I want to land first because I don't know if I am the cleaner of the house, if I am the one supposed to clean the house and you start to clean the house, what job should I do? What is my job now? If I am the one that clean the house, what
No,
job
your
should I
job,
do?
your job is to remain pure and clean. That's your job.
No, brother, listen. I am the one that cleans the house. That's my
Yes.
job. If you
Okay.
start to clean the house, what should I do now? What is my job?
Well, the job in itself is to make sure you're still doing your job.
But
the
bro,
problem?
if you are the one take away my job, you start to clean the house for me.
There is no
What
taking
should I
away
do?
jobs. There is no taking away jobs. There is none.
Oh my
You come
God.
up with a concept that doesn't make any
Brother,
sense.
listen,
there is
listen,
no taking away
bro.
jobs.
Brother, listen,
now,
brother,
now
listen,
that I,
brother,
now,
listen.
hold on, well, first,
Brother,
did the
listen,
brother
please,
land his
please,
plane?
please,
Did the brother
hold
land
on,
his
hold
plane?
on. Brother, please hold on. What my brother host tried to say, brother host, can you please pull up the chapter 28 in the Surah 56, please?
Okay.
And
All right,
brother
but
Mister,
before we go,
brother
before we
Mister,
go into
listen,
that,
listen, please,
before we go in,
listen.
I
I just
listened a
want to
lot,
speak
and
to
I would
you.
like for there to be
The whole time you were respectful, dear brother. The whole time you were respectful, and you wanted to know the truth. And so right now we are just talking also about the truth. The whole time you were respectful and not even interrupting. And all of a sudden that we are showing that Allah mislead, all of a sudden you are like trying to interrupt and just to speak over. But please let us go to the point. If what my brother host tried to tell you, if Allah mislead and lead the people who he wants, okay, we're fine, we are agreeing with that, that he mislead the people who he doesn't want. Okay, we agree with that. But if we look at it a little bit, we stretch it a little bit deeper, which is we're gonna see that human beings are just imperfect beings. And Allah is supposed to be a divine being. If Allah mislead who is imperfect and shaitan or Satan mislead as well people, then the people has no chance. That's the point here. Because if Allah does only the misleading, does only the leading, and shaitan does the misleading, I would understand that. I would agree with that.
Exactly. Because must be perfect, right? We are
Exactly.
unperfect. Why is a perfect being misleading people when he should be doing the right thing instead of guiding us as a perfect being? He's misleading us as an imperfect being. That's crazy. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I mean, thank you. So, brother Mister, if you look at this, look at this ayah that we have brought to you. It says, "Indeed, O Muhammad, you do not guide whom you like, but Allah guides whom He wills, and He is most knowing." My question to you, my dear brother Mister, what is the condition for you for Allah to guide you?
submit to Him and only Him. The question?
Well, that's not the point here, because he mislead who he wants and he lead who he wants. How do we know the difference between who he leads and who he misleads? For example, take me as example. Me, I am an ex-Muslim. Did he mislead me to be an ex-Muslim?
Your actions
No,
would have led to that.
you did. You did that yourself. Only
So-
you can
Your
do that.
actions
So
will
right
either
now,
let you go towards him or
you guys are blaming me to tell me that I am the one who did it with my own action. But we see here that Allah mislead the one He wants.
No, Allah
Exactly.
guides those who
Are you more
come
powerful
to
than
him
Allah, Muhammad?
and
Or
misguides
is he
those who
powerful
go
than
away from him. That's what that verse means. So the
I'm
verse
always-
means that your own, because we have free will, we
Brother
have
Jimmy,
the will.
Brother
to go
Jimmy, listen
towards him.
please to the host. He tried to say something, please.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear him talk. Sorry.
Yeah, what I was saying is that I don't think. Let me say, I don't believe that Allah is a God, right? But I'm just going to talk it in because you guys believe in Allah as a God. I'm just going to say it in context. Who is more powerful, God or humans? Jimmy.
God.
So if a God mislead me, can I guide myself? I want to hear your honest opinion. Answer
Can
me
I-
correctly. I want you to answer me
sorry,
correctly,
sorry.
bro.
Go on,
If
go on.
God mislead me, can I guide myself?
So God, it's more of a metaphor, right? Listen to this. The
question.
verse
Oh my God,
literally
man, this is
states-
crazy, guys. Can you
No,
answer my
the
question, bro?
verse, brother, can I explain it? The verse literally states, who stays away from me, who runs away from me, who strays away from me, will be misguided. In the sense where
Will be,
your
are-
avail, if you read the whole thing, right, it's massive. If you read the whole thing, it states that God says that a veil will be put upon your eyes. You will not see the truth. Even if you try, even if the truth is in front of you, you won't see it. You know how the saying goes,
okay.
yeah, go on.
Okay, Jimmy, no problem, bro. I'm gonna ask you a very good question now, and I want everyone in the chat to listen, including who's on the panel. I'm gonna see if your God makes sense. I am a thief, right? Jimmy, are you listening to me?
I'm listening. You said you're a thief.
Yes, I am a thief. I'll just an example.
Like teeth
Okay.
in your mouth?
Bro, I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
I am a thief, right? I love to steal. And you are
A
a,
thief. Thief. Okay, yes.
yes, thief, bro. And you are a good
I
person.
thought you said thief.
Bro, just stop and let me speak, man. I am a thief and I love to steal. And you are a person who sees you're a good person. Will you come to me and said, man, you know what you're doing is wrong? Or will you come to me and said, man, I think you should, I can tell you, give you more things to steal, bro. Will you encourage me to steal more, or will you encourage me not to steal? Which one will you do, bro? I want to ask you first from your perspective. Will you tell me that stealing is wrong, or will you encourage me to steal more? Jimmy, you can unmute and answer me, bro, please.
That's a good question.
Jimmy,
Can you hear
unmute
me?
and answer me, bro, please.
Someone muted me. Someone muted me.
Okay, no problem. Answer me. Will you encourage me to
Yes.
steal more, or will you tell me that it is wrong for me to go around
It
and
is
steal?
wrong. I will encourage you not to do it anymore.
Okay, oh, thank you very much. So if I am a bad person and Allah sees and knows me, right? Should Allah send persons to me to encourage me to know him and to follow him to do the right? Or should he send, hold on, bro, let me speak. Or should he send devils against me to incite me to the evil? What should Allah do?
Can I talk?
I'm waiting, bro.
Okay. So you do know where it states that God is the most merciful. He will give you chance after chance after chance and chances after chances, right? Endless amounts of chances before he puts the veil upon you and says, just go away. Pretty much what that narration.
Can you provide that verse where it said that he
I
gives
can
them
give you my
chance
own real
upon
life,
chance?
my own real life things about that when I was younger.
Bro,
even,
bro,
as
can
an
you
example.
provide the story because you're just making up things? Allah
Yeah,
says
no,
he
I can.
cried, brother, listen, I can provide sources with everything I speak. Allah says in the Quran that he sent the devils against the disbelievers, inciting them to do evil. How can a true God works with the devil? Bro, that's crazy for me. And I'm saying to you, if I am a wrongdoer, shouldn't Allah send an angel or send someone to teach me the right way, to show me what is good? But instead, he sends devils, he sends evil against me to let me do more evil. Is that a good God, bro? Why can't Muslims
He
be
won't
honest with themselves,
initially do
man?
that to you, though. He won't initially do that to you.
Bro, the
He will
Quran
give you
verse says it.
chances.
You want me to bring
He
the
will-
Quran verse? That he sent devils against the disbelievers?
Yes, to
you
those
want the
who
Quran
have
verse?
completely strayed and gone, yes. I'm
He
not saying
said
that he
he
won't,
sent devils
but he
against
would
the
have given you
disbeliever.
chances before it gets to that stage.
Brother Jimmy, what you are failing
It's
to
not like,
understand
it's
here.
not like you're going to do one
Wait a
wrong
minute,
and then
please.
it's
Wait
going
a
to
minute,
banish you
please.
forever.
Jimmy, brother Jimmy, wait a minute, please.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
What we are having here as a problem is that actually Allah is misleading. The problem is that he should be leading, because if I am misled, of my brother he is misled, he should be the one who is leading us back to his path. That's the logical explanation. But if you tell me that the will of a human being can surpass Allah's power to lead people to the truth, that's something else. You can tell us that with other words. But according to the logical sense, Allah, according to you personally, Allah is a divine being, powerful being, all wisdom, all knowledgeable, all loving, all that. Okay, but here we have a problem, dear brother. Because the problem is we have with Allah is the one who is also misleading, which is he should be leading. Because if he is misleading and Satan is misleading and we human beings are not perfect, we are in trouble. We are in a huge
Exactly, brother. Well said.
trouble.
Well said, brother.
So, do you understand what the problem is here, brother Jimmy?
I understand your evaluation of understanding
That's
this
not
as
my
a problem.
evaluation. That's actually
It is.
the logical sense,
It is.
because the Muslims, they ask always about the logical sense. And we want to provide that. We are willing to understand the logical sense. Thank you so much, Sister Faith. God richly bless you. So brother here, it's like, it's crucial. It's super crucial here. Because if Satan mislead and Allah mislead, what is the chance for the people? Can you answer us, please, clearly about this topic of Allah misleading and Satan's misleading?
As I said before, brother, your own actions will cause yourself to mislead yourself. Allah
Brother,
will guide you as
you
much as
are
He can.
trying,
Then
you
take
are
it down.
trying to tell us
You cut me off
that
again, bro.
you are trying to tell us still that human being decision can surpass Allah.
No, your free will
That's not
is
the
your
case.
decision.
That's not the case, dear brother, because we have here, I can show you a hadith from Adam himself saying that Allah is the one who put that sin in his life, in his destiny before even he was created. When Moses told him, "Why did you put us outside of the paradise?" So, dear brother, you cannot have free will when Allah is putting in your destiny that you have to sin. Let alone
No, not
that
that you
Allah
have
is
to
the one
sin.
who is. Listen, brother, I can show you the hadith if you want.
Show me the hadith. That's fine. I know the hadith for that.
That's
But
okay. If you know the hadith, that is fine. That's even better. But then, if we see that Allah is the one misleading from other side, and in hadith it confirms it with another way, then what is the point here of Allah leading then? If I am choosing right now to not, like, imagine right now a person doesn't know how to follow Allah and he wants to be led by the truth, but he doesn't yet trust Allah. Are you then blaming the person to not know the
no,
truth?
you're taking that too far out. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that.
No, brother, because we are human beings. We learn from our
talking
mistake.
about-
This is our nature.
Correct. And He will give you chances after chances in regards to that. It's not like
But
He's
that's
gonna
not the point.
throw you down
Even
the
when
end
you
of a
give
cliff.
human being, dear brother, even when you are you a father? If you are a father and you are having kids, and you know you have to give them millions and millions chance for them to learn almost just 3 things. Like, it's not, even if the parents can give those multiple chances, then is Allah that weak to just give you few chances and then it's
No,
done?
not a few. Not a few. So that's a perfect analogy. I've actually used this analogy before. So you know how you said if you have a children and you will give them chances, to a certain point, eventually it will get to years and years, and your child still does not listen to you and still does the wrong thing and still does sin. Eventually, your patience will run out, and you will say to that child
As a human
to go
being,
away
yes.
from you. Eventually,
As a human
being.
As
Now,
a
put this
human
into
being, yes,
perspective.
but as God,
Finish.
no.
Finish.
As God, you cannot
Finish.
run out of patience. As God.
In the Quran, you would know that God is the most merciful, God is the most wise.
if
He
he
is
is
not merciful.
dear brother, you are
He is
not
contradicting
merciful.
yourself. Listen to what you are saying, dear brother. If Allah is the most merciful, He need to lead and only lead and not mislead.
Exactly.
If he is the most
He doesn't
merciful.
mislead, brother.
If
He said in the Quran, bro.
you are refuting your own wording, dear brother. You are speaking against your own like logic. All of a sudden you say he mislead because of my free will, and from other side you are saying he's merciful. But from other side we are discovering that human being or parents, with other words, are more merciful than Allah, because they give their children multiple chances until they become 30 years old maximum, or 20 or 18 at least. If Allah cannot give that chance, how is he then a God? And I mean, human being can love more than him at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Muhammad, you know what? It's crazy. How can Allah be merciful and he kicked Adam out of paradise when he made one mistake?
Exactly.
But yet still Allah is merciful.
Actually, in the Islam, dear brother, actually in the Islam, you are not even looked like a child. In the Islam, you are not allowed to call Allah Father. It's not possible to say Allah is a father. So even if you are a slave, look at the analogy of Allah. If you are a slave, and imagine if you are a master and you have a slave, yes, with your slave you are having that commandment of telling him what to do. Right now, a slave is just signing a contract with somebody, paying people for what they do. But slaves before is just doing things, but you know, it's not really that fair. But you know what the point is. the slave of Allah. Like imagine the relationship. If Allah cannot be like a father to the creation, of course he will mislead, because if he look at us as slaves, of course he will mislead us, because he doesn't have no connection with us to lead us, because if we don't do his will, he will mislead us. We come back to the unconditional love and conditional love, which is my brother here and the Muslim above me. They all have chosen for the one who give unconditional love. Tell me one person who will not love a God who give an unconditional love. So dear brother, give us the logical sense, because here we Christians, we are asking for a logical sense. If Islam the most logical religion ever on this earth, you must have a logical explanation, at least. Here we have Allah misleading and leading, something contradicting itself. Merciful and misleading is contradicting to itself.
There's no time frame there for him to mislead you, though. It's after whatever duration, whatever sin you've created, that you have strayed from him. If you've completely shut him out of yourself, why would he bother then afterwards? After so many decades of
brother, you are failing. You are failing.
That's your own opinion, brother. This is literally your opinion, your own understanding of that.
You are failing to understand that Allah is a God. Allah is supposed to be a perfect being. He's supposed to be having more patience than human being. He's supposed to be having that. That's the point. But we as human being, we can lose patience. We are human being. It's normal for us. But for Allah as a God, to you, as a perfect being to you, He is patient. He must be the patient. But here we are seeing that he is misleading, which is mean and indicate that Allah patient got run out.
Well said, brother. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. You know, if he loses patience, he fall in his emotion, that means he's not God. You know, if he's using his emotion to let his emotion judges judgment, man, it's crazy. He's not God, bro. And that's facts.
That's actually
he's bringing feelings into his emotions, in his judgment.
Even human being, even the parents, human being can have even more patience with their children than Allah with their slave.
You can't say that. If you look at history,
but that's the truth, dear brother. You just confirmed it.
I did not confirm that. History will disprove what you said.
No, we just confirmed that, dear brother. With our topic and with our talk, we just confirmed that Allah cannot even love as a parent. Even the parents are more merciful than Allah. And they are even human beings.
Brother, there are people who are in jail for numerous murders, right? Numerous murders over a span of decades, right? Brother, then
you are trying to still compare human beings.
No. Listen, you know what, brother? Good luck to you. You have literally. You've gone into your little hole there. You can stay there. There's no point. You know, this saying is reflected upon you.
You are comparing the judge of this earth, Allah. Brother, if you are comparing the judge, if you are comparing the judge of this earth to Allah as a judge, that's really wrong. Because like this is not normal. Because Allah is supposed to be even better than the judge on earth. Normally. It seems like I am defending Allah's divinity than even the Muslims.
Bro, it's crazy.